Hi, this is Chris Reinhardt, project lead on Prey 2 at Human Head Studios. And today I want to talk to you about the trailers we put together for the game. We'll talk a bit about our thinking behind parts of it and kind of how this ties into Prey 1 and Prey 2. So when we first started working on the reveal for Prey 2, we knew we wanted to do something that was going to connect Prey 1 and Prey 2, and also some way that we're going to reveal our new main character, Killian Samuels, who's a U.S. Marshal on this airplane. You'll see in a minute here, you see Killian walking by with his prisoner. So there's a connection here. There's a strong connection to the first game because you'll remember there's a part where Tommy from Prey 1 comes across this airplane and he sees the entire airplane grabbed, pulled onto the giant spherical mothership that's orbiting around the Earth. He sees this entire plane grabbed and it's smashed. And the aliens go in and pull out all the people. So when we were designing Prey 2 and we had this new main character, this bounty hunter on this distant planet known as Exodus, we wanted to tell a little bit of his origin story as to how he became a bounty hunter. So we batted around a bunch of different ideas, and one of the things that really resonated with us was this idea that he was on that airplane, because that was a really memorable moment from Prey 1. So we're like, well, that fits perfectly. We can have Killian on this airplane as an air marshal. You can see he's got his gun here, and the cameraman, Charlie, is kind of investigating and checking out what's going on before things start going funny. And we knew we had this really cool crash, so this is a really cool opportunity to show the crash obviously from the point of view of someone who's on that plane, and show the kind of the sheer terror and horror that kind of resonates with what was happening in Prey 1 and at the beginning of Prey 2. It's also such showing Killian himself. He stands up and he starts trying to protect the people, and you get a little bit of a vibe of who our new main character is. So the other thing is this gives us an opportunity to show some of the other connections of the hunters. Now, some of you who played Prey 1, you'll remember the hunter who was one of the main bad guys you fight. So there's a hunter that portals onto the airplane and starts attacking the people, and obviously starts causing some serious chaos and havoc. Coming up here, you get a brief glimpse of the hunter itself. The hunter head is the thing's in its last death throes there before everything really kind of goes to hell and goes completely insane and crazy. And like I said, this really ties into the connection from Prey 1 to Prey 2, because this is the part where they're grabbing the entire ship, they're pulling the entire ship up to their spherical mothership, which is where they'd go in and grab all the people. You get a really cool glimpse of the sphere for a moment here that's in orbit around the Earth, but clearly there's some madness here as it's invading the Earth. So then, when we're revealing the game at E3, we want to put together another trailer that told more of the story of what happens to Killian after this intro part, after the plane abduction, and after he finds himself on the sphere. So, and we talk a little bit more about kind of how Killian gets off the sphere, because he gets off the sphere in a very different way than Tommy. If you played Prey 1, you know Tommy blows up the entire sphere. There's a spoiler, sorry. So at the beginning here, Killian wakes up, he's on the sphere, doesn't realize that he's on a distant planet, or he's on this planet orbiting around the Earth. He sees the plane crash and looks up, sees the Earth is there. He's kind of freaking out. Bam! Killian's knocked out. So you see Killian wakes up on this distant planet known as Exodus and establishes himself as a bounty hunter. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but you're going to have to watch the next part of the developer commentary.